Hey, welcome back to the channel. This is gonna be the second video, so thank you for whoever watched the first one because it was a damn mess. So but yeah, so today we're sitting at the beach getting some sunshine, doing a little bit of reading A Course in Miracles. If you want to change your life, this is the book. Yeah, and so today we're just gonna talk about, I feel like we need to talk about ego and the forgiveness, and then show some bicep workouts because you got to get it in, But yeah, let's get into the ego, forgiveness, and what it means to me. Let's get into it. All right, so how do we start this? The ego. What is the ego? The ego is everything. The ego is what your world is. The ego is what your body is. The ego is your world. Your world. It's all an illusion. It's all made by the ego. And the ego, it encompasses everything. How we feel, how we act, why we do what we do, is all because of the ego. And 99.9% of the time, the ego is not rooted in truth, and it's not rooted in positive feelings. It's rooted in a negative or a not from a good place feeling. I'm trying my best to understand how to explain it, so hang in here with me. But yeah, your ego, it's the hardest thing to overcome, and even me, I still fight with it daily. It's so hard, and the harder you fight the ego, I cannot stress that enough, the harder you fight the ego, the harder the ego will fight back. And that's why so very few people do it and acknowledge it and understand the ego. But your ego wants you to be miserable. Your ego wants you to be safe. Your ego wants you to stay in what you know, in your comfort zone, and you deserve this, it's just, that's what the ego is. And anytime, like for example, anytime something happens, or if it's like you're in a situation and someone cuts you, like just basic in traffic, someone cuts you off and you get mad, that's the ego. That's your ego responding. Your ego's responding because something in you was like, I didn't deserve that, or I deserve to go first, or something. And you're always in competition. Like, your ego is in competition with everyone around you and trying to prove something around you to everyone 24/7. Like, you're probably not even aware of that, but that's what your ego is trying to do. And when you become aware of that and you realize that every single human being out here is fighting their ego, they're fighting these thoughts, they're fighting this voice in their head, they're fighting the same cycles and patterns, you just you view it differently. And that's like, for me, it's like, I still fight the ego every day. I still fight the ego, but it's like, for me now, it's like, I don't get angry, I don't get upset, I don't, like, yes, I have like a few moments of like, if I feel anger or something, but like, I make myself stop and like realize, why are you this? Why are you angry? Why is your ego telling you you're angry right now? Because it has no basis in truth. And you have to stop and like, just, why am I feeling this way? Why am I acting this way? Why do I have this reaction to sorts of things? And it's all based off of 99, I'm just going to go ahead and say 100% of the time, 110% of the time, you're feeling that way, you're reacting that way, you're being that way or stuck in a certain way because of negative feelings and negative things that have happened to you, or negative viewpoints, or a negative mindset, or just something that's negative, that's not based in truth, is the reason why you're having those actions and you're having those feelings. And like you could go and like someone could cut you off in traffic and it make you mad, and you're like, why does it make me mad? You might not even know why, but deep down underneath it all, that one simple action could make you so mad because you could have been in elementary school in 2nd grade and a kid stole a book from you, you know, and like your brain has held on to that ever since then, and you didn't even know about it. You didn't even know. Your conscious level of thinking was not aware that your subconscious brain was holding on to that, and that was making you for repeatedly get angry at people anytime they took something from you or did something to you. So it's like everything has a root. Everything has a root cause. Everything has a root why. And a lot of times it's very, 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 very hard to understand. A lot of the times it takes a lot of work and a lot of digging and a lot of personal reflection and facing stuff you do not want to face that you have been through in life to understand that. And like for me, like when I started this journey, there was like, yes, I've been through a lot of really shitty things in life that were like, okay, well, that's the reason why I'm like this, and this. But then it's like once I understood it more and I looked into it more, it was like, yeah, like the shitty things like impacted me, but there was also like small things that like my brain like never even remembered until I started this. I was like, that made me feel a certain type of way. My brain held on to that, and I've been repeatedly subconsciously repeating that action because of how that made me feel the one time. And it's the ego. It's the ego. The ego is a bitch. And I preach, my whole reason I feel like I'm here is because this world is ego or spirit, you know, and either you live by the ego or you live by spirit. And when you live by the ego, you live by cycles, you live by the same patterns, you live by just everything around you. You see a negative in. And every human being is like that. Every human being, we see negative. And like, for me, even now, it's like I say, I don't have bad thoughts. I don't have negative thoughts. It's because, like, I don't. Like, I can't explain that, but I don't. Because I have worked so much, and I know that any negative thought, any negative feeling, any negative action, anything like that is a reflection of me and how I'm feeling because of something that happened. It had nothing to do with anyone else. And it's the ego. It's the ego. You're always in competition. Like, your ego is in competition with everyone around you and trying to prove something around you to everyone 24/7. Like, you're probably not even aware of that, but that's what your ego is trying to do. And when you become aware of that and you realize that every single human being out here is fighting their ego, they're fighting these thoughts, they're fighting this voice in their head, they're fighting the same cycles and patterns, you just you view it differently. And that's like, for me, it's like I still fight for each other. We all need to be nice to each other. We all just need to forgive and understand each other. And especially in this world now for kids, and especially for the kids, we have to forgive. We have to forgive ourselves. We have to forgive each other. We have to see the love in the world again. We have to see that we're all on this planet. Every single one of us are on this planet together. Every single human being on this planet is fighting the ego. Every single human being on this planet is fighting it every day and fighting their subconscious and their subconscious actions and their subconscious thinkings and their subconscious feelings that the human brain is not even aware of daily. And that's why that's why I'm so passionate about this and like talking about this now and telling how I've got here, because the subconscious brain is a motherfucker. I can't even explain, like I can't explain, but that's going to be another, like that's a whole different topic. But the subconscious is a motherfucker. Your subconscious is your ego. And it's a bitch. It's a bitch. but you can fight it, and you can change it, and you can get rid of that shit, and you can do it. Everyone can. But it starts with knowing what the ego is, and it starts with forgiving yourself. And because the key to all of this, I'm just gonna drop little tidbits throughout videos. Why not? But like a key to all of this, we're all one. Every single human being out here is part of the same source, the same beginning, and we all have the same, how do I explain it? Jesus, help me explain it. We're one, all of us. We're all formed from the same thinking, the same creation. We all have the same blueprint, basically, as every single human being. And that's why it's like, I know for a fact, even though if 99% of people don't say it. Alright, yeah. So that's all it for this video, featuring my curves and A Course in Miracles. But I hope you learned something about the ego and forgiveness and Michaela's crazy thoughts. And yeah, go kick ass today, motherfuckers. Strong ass bitches. It's all in you. It's you. You create your day. You make your day. The day you want to have, you create in here. That's all there is to it. Yeah. Subscribe to my channel. Tell me what else you want to see. What else you want to hear from Michaela. And let's get into some bicep workouts real quick, because you got to get the guns. You got to get the guns. Peace out. Home slices. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let me know what else you want to hear.